Hello, everyone. Welcome back to GM 101, where we talk about how to GM for noobs. Um, Last time we talked about how to pick your system and learn about those systems. And this time around, before we continue forward with starting session 1 and prepping for session 1, we're going to talk about zero session. Most campaigns don't fall apart because of bad dice rolls or bad adventures. They fall apart because nobody sat down and figured out what kind of game they were playing. That's where Session Zero comes in. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to run a Zero session that makes your players excited, sets clear expectations, and gives your campaign the best possible start. First thing first, what is a Zero session? A Zero session is a pre-game meeting before you start your first real adventure, where you and your players talk through your expectations, the tone of your game, and the characters they want to play. Think of it like a foundation. If you take a little time now to set the groundwork for your campaign, it will feel smoother, more immersive, and less stressful for you as the GM. Some GMs skip this step and dive straight into the first session. But then they find out halfway through the adventure that one player wanted a lighthearted comedy game, another wanted political intrigue, and the third just wanted to smash monsters. A session zero avoids all that by making sure everyone is on the same page. Tone and theme. One of your biggest jobs in Zero Session is setting the tone. Describe what kind of story you're planning to run. Is this heroic, high fantasy, a grim survival story, or a light-hearted walk through a magical world? You don't have to spoil the plot details, but giving enough information so players can create characters who fit the story. Here's a pro tip. Use pop culture shorthand. If your campaign feels like Lord of the Rings, Witcher, or Critical Role, say so. Players will immediately picture the vibe you're going for. You should also talk about boundaries and safeties. This might sound formal, but it's just about making sure everyone's comfortable. Introduce tools like lines, hard limits, topics that won't appear in the game. I don't do this as much as most people do, but I'll still include it. Veils, topics that fade to black instead of being described in detail, something like going to the brothel. The X card or similar tools, a way for players to pause or rewind a scene if they're uncomfortable. Even if a group is all close friends, it's better to establish this now. Another thing to talk about during this is what happens if a line is crossed or something happens that a player is unhappy with. I personally say talk to me either in between the 15-minute break or after the game if we are past that 15-minute break. That way we can retcon or we can fix any issues that may have come up. And we can go ahead and fix it. It's not a big deal because we're all here to have fun. Um, and if it's something big plot major, then I'll try to fix it as best as I can fix it. Number 3. Introduce the setting and premise. Next, give a campaign elevator pitch. Where does the story start? What's the vibe? If you're using a published adventure path, highlight its themes. Is it a dungeon crawl, a political thriller, a pirate adventure? This isn't about spoilers, it's about giving your players inspiration for their characters. And of course, if you're new, you might not know your, where your story is going to be. Because we haven't even made a map or anything like that yet. And we're starting from scratch, remember. So, you could definitely skip this step. You could even be asking the players what kind of campaign they want to play. Do they want a political intrigue? Do they want um, dungeon crawl, a pirate adventure? You know, you could ask them what they want out of this game before you make your campaign. If you have something in mind, then you can definitely change it up or you can add to it. But it's easier to do this now than later because then you kind of know what the players are expecting and what they want. And you know that they're excited for such and such type of campaign. This also lets players bring characters that fit your world. A gritty horror campaign feels very different if someone shows up with a slapstick clown bard, so help them make a choice that matches your vision. Character creation discussion. Session 0 is the best time to plan characters together. Encourage players to talk about party balance. Do you have a healer, a frontliner, a skill monkey, and a caster? Or does everyone want to play bards, everyone want to play such and such class, whatever class they want, and then go for it? I know for D&D 5e, it becomes where everyone, uh, needs a frontline, a tank, something, something to fill a certain role. With Pathfinder, it could be that, or it doesn't have to be. Um, this is where you can even talk about how the system works. If everyone is new to the system, then you could kind of teach them how the system may differ to something that they already know, or just do like a step by step thing and, kind of introduce them what D&D or Pathfinder or Starfinder or any system that you guys decide to play is. Relationships. Do these characters know each other? Are they rivals, siblings, or strangers meeting for the first time? Motivations. Why are they adventuring? What would make them stay with the group? This is where I like to use a 1 to 2 sheet page with 15 questions for relationships and motivations, where players can pick 2 relationship questions that they can answer together between themselves and 1 motivation question that they can answer on their own. A pro tip that I didn't see coming with a new party that I started GMing is do this during their session, because they don't always understand what it means to or what I'm looking for. So, uh, my 2 page paper, if I can pull it up, I'm gonna pull it up, but I don't think I'm gonna post it for on the doobly doo. So, character time questions could be like party relationship questions. I have them answer 2 questions, which is out of 15. It could be I owe one of you my life. What happened? Or I grew up in the same town, and what do we remember about each other? Why does one of you remind me of someone I lost? What job did we once to do once together, and how did it go? I betrayed one of you in the past, and how do you know? If so, how did I betray you? What rumors connect our families, and could it be true? How did one of you help me escape a dangerous situation? What did we steal, and who is still after us? And then I obviously say, please nothing that's obviously going to get a veto from me, i.e. X amount of gold. What strange dreams do we both remember, and what does it mean? What secret am I keeping, and who in the party knows about it? I told one of you a lie, and what is that lie? How close am I to being found out? Stuff like that. This is also something that I got from Critical Role. So it kind of helps. It lets them know about their backstories without needing to do a full on backstory if they don't want to. Um, you know, 2 of my players decided to tie their backstories together by one being a servant of the other, and or like a protege of the other, and that works too. But yeah, make sure they do the Zoom campaign session 0 instead of doing after session 0 before session 1, because not everyone does it. So, if your group is brand new to Pathfinder 2e, it's a perfect time to build characters together. Screen share a character builder, use a spreadsheet, or walk them through the process step by step. Experienced players may find to bring their pre-built characters and just discuss backstories. Either way, it gets everyone talking so you don't have a mismatched expectations. Table expectations on playstyles. This is where you set the tone for your style as a GM. Answer questions like, how much roleplay do you want? Answer and ask questions like, how much roleplay do you want? How much combat? Do you want a Souls-like combat or a classical, very, straightforward type combat? How strict are you with rules? Are you rules as written or rule over cool? Or cool rule of cool? How will leveling up work? Milestones? XP? Do you want players to keep their own initiative order? Will you fudge dice rolls or always roll in the open? If it's a tabletop RPG, you know, initiative order is very simple. It's already done there. If you fudge dice rolls, how will you how often? Um, for Pathfinder 2e players, um, as a GM, I like to say, um, you know, the knowledge rolls, recall knowledge rolls, I have my players roll it. So I'll even say that. I'll say I I run things a little differently. Hold on, let me drink some Coke. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay. Being upfront about this now saves you from an awkward argument later, and also helps players trust your calls during the game. Number 6. Logistics and tools. Finally, handle the boring but important details. When are you playing and how often? Is it going to be a 2 hour session, 4 hour session, weekly basis, or bi weekly basis, or a monthly basis? How long are the sessions and do you take breaks? What tools are you using? If it's online, discuss your VTT, Discord setup, dice rollers, or safety tools. How will you handle no-shows or late arrivals? This is also the time to ask about accessibility needs like text, chat options, captions, or pacing adjustments. And then optional mini play. I don't do this, but I'll still include it. Some GMs like to end session 0 with a 5 to 10 minute practice scene. This could be a tavern meeting to roleplay introductions, a simple combat encounter to teach new players the action system, a puzzle or skill challenge to showcase non-combat gameplay. This lets everyone test their characters, break the ice, and get excited for session 1. And lastly, wrap up and hype. For this, I like to give a 30-second to 1 minute introduction. So something that I've used in the past and will use in the past is like this. The world remembers what it must. Kings, queens, wars, glories. But memory is a fragile thing, easily bent and easily broken. Once the stars guided us, once the pact bound heaven and earth. Now those stars flicker like dying embers, and the pact strains at its seams. Across the continent of Alorian something stirs, not with armies, not with fire, but with mask and whispers, and the quiet rewriting of truth. In sea breeze, the waves no longer wash away all blood. In Storm Peak, the hollow sea speaks in a voice that was never sworn. In Avalon, a child king walks in dreams not his own. In the deep forest of Verdun, the roots remember a name no lips should speak. You do not know it yet, but you are already part of this tale. You are the thread that might unravel it, or the stitch that seals its final act. So, take up your role, draw your blades, speak your truth. The stage is set, the mask watches, the curtain rises. And session 0 in this way, or you can also summarize what you've decided. Confirm the tone, boundaries, and table rules. Make sure everyone knows their homework. Finish backstories, finalize characters, and review key rules. And that is session 0. If you take the time to do this, you and your players will walk into session 1 with a clear idea of the world, their role in it, and how you run the table. Next time, we'll move into building your first adventure. I'll show you how to take all this prep, turn it into a first session that your players will remember. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below about how you run your own little session. I'd love to hear your tips and maybe feature them in a future episode. And thank you, and hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.